So, as an enterprise system for Windchill, through the last 6 webinars, we've touched on uh, a lot of different topics. Okay, how we can basically manage, right at the early upfront things around things like requirements management, all of the data that we deal with. We've touched on a little bit of how we can handle model-based definition right through the whole design lifecycle. Uh, Visualization, AR design share, which looked at document management. We can manage source codes. We can do our model-based systems engineering, software engineering. Then we get into more sort of changes around that. Okay, so we looked last week at change management. We've touched on how we can manage BOM management and configurations for that. We've looked today at how we can collaborate with that, how we can manage and manage product variability. We haven't really gotten into the extensions with that, so we'll save that for another day. Uh, Part and document classifications. We had a little bit of a look at project management. So Windchill covers a huge range of these product development tasks. Okay, and really its capabilities. We touched on this in the first webinar. As as a tool, industry analysts have been recognizing PDC's leadership in the PLM space for many years. You can see going back to the 2017 Forrester Wave report for product lifecycle management tools. The last 4 years, PDC has consistently been rated up in that sort of top right corner, that upper quadrant, as having one of the best or the best PLM tool. Okay, and there's a very broad range of solution customers. Some very big names you can see here on the slide. Obviously, there's lots of our own customers here locally. Many of you who are here today with us today. But really, the leading PLM tool is being used by these leading companies around the world. So one of those companies we're going to touch a little bit on is Volvo. Okay, so Volvo has been a long time PTC user. They use Creo for their CAD, and they've been using Creo, Windchill, ThingWorx, and Servigistics solutions, which is really on the service management to help drive their virtual product data management, resulting in improved global collaboration. They've got sites around the world. There's a site here in Australia, up in Brisbane, probably currently in lockdown, who are busy working away with Windchill as part of the global development team. Okay, so what I've got is a video here, really just to show you what Volvo is doing, and I guess how Volvo is really using PLM to help them with their digital thread. So let me just bring up that video, and you'll see what Volvo are doing on this front.
With companies like Volvo increasing configuration variants and complexities across their catalog of products, concurrent engineering and manufacturing is critical. Volvo needed to accelerate time to industrialization by propagating design changes from engineering to the shop floor in a quick and efficient manner. Enabling a free flow of information between engineering and manufacturing is critical for designing improved components and bringing them to production quickly. PTC's Windchill PLM enables this efficient, accurate, and traceable workflow for product development while reducing time to market, lowering costs, and improving quality. Leveraging Creo's generative design capabilities, a new cooling fan was developed and incorporated into a configurable E-bomb. Replacing a number of different designs, this new generatively designed fan is lighter, stronger, and compatible with every engine variant, reducing supply chain complexity and increasing reliability. Through Windchill's change orchestration process, the affected suppliers are notified of the update through their ERP systems. At Volvo, a change task is automatically sent to the manufacturing engineer responsible for this part of the Mac engine assembly process. Opening the visualized M-bomb and E-bomb side by side, the engineer consumes the changes from the E-bomb into their downstream manufacturing planning deliverables. By selecting View Equivalent Occurrence Status, the engineer can see the modifications in the E-bomb. With control characteristics and parts added, the engineer can save the changes, propagate them to the M-bomb, and then begin updating the assembly process for the engine. Opening the assembly, the engineer can see the visualized M-bomb with the added parts highlighted and the process plan with the full assembly. With playback functionality, they can review step by step how the engine is assembled to decide where and when to add the new components. By selecting Insert Operations, the new operation is added to the process plan assembly and can provide sub-operations to address complexity. To make sure the cooling fan is installed in the ideal manner, the engineer leverages PTC partner Industrial Path Solutions to simulate exactly how the part is to be assembled. By testing and simulating the ergonomics within the assembly line fixture, the manufacturing engineer can make further changes to the MBOM, updating and defining the process plan for assembling the engine. With all the characteristics, CAD models, work center for the operator, and assembly tools added to the process plan, the engineer can review the playback with the added cooling fan included in the assembly. Work instructions are now ready for deployment, fully illustrated with links to all parts, assets, and control characteristics listed. After fully assembled, quality inspectors leverage augmented reality to compare the as-designed to the as-manufactured engine, catching errors before they leave the factory. Windchill further provides closed-loop quality through MPM and ThingWorx. If an operator conducts a quality check and finds an issue with the assembly, they can easily generate a problem report for engineering to correct the issue. With a task in Windchill noting that the connected tool fails to adhere to the required torque setting, manufacturing engineers can update the required torque in the process plan and push the change directly to the work instructions, ensuring operators continue to have viable information. By connecting upstream and downstream stakeholders from design all the way to the shop floor, Windchill provides the backbone for an industrialized digital thread. With a cohesive and effective transfer of information, Windchill accelerates time to market, improving both cross-team efficiency and quality.
So that was a little bit of a look at I guess the digital thread story from Volvo. So you can see a lot of what was discussed in that video are things that we've shown throughout this webinar series. Although they did show a little bit of stuff towards the end. I guess we touched on a little bit in some of the quality and connected quality last week, really around how that thread from PLM expands out into things like ThingWorx and Vuforia for AR, so we can start linking back in those, the smart tool example that they showed in that, back into our quality for change as well. Okay, so as we've said, really the whole idea of this of Windchill is really to help us, manage that digital thread as it moves around the digital organization. And really, that example video from Volvo really shows a great example of what they're doing on that front.